Boasting spacious all-suite condominium-style accommodation and said to be the #1 choice for families in Orlando. But if that choice has been made, is it meeting expectations? Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit. My mission is to review every hotel in Orlando, and for this video I'll be providing a breakdown of both the good and the not so good reviews that I've seen for the Floridays Resort. I'll also be looking to provide some tips to help in getting the best out of any vacation at this resort. So Floridays is located near the bottom of International Drive, which is roughly halfway between Disney World and the Universal Parks, and a 10-minute drive away from SeaWorld. It's priced at roughly $150 per night. This resort aims to provide its guests with a home away from home experience with a luxurious sense of spaciousness. This is definitely the main appeal and focus of this resort. For each apartment, the features include housekeeping, kitchenette, private balcony, flat screen TV, microwave, safe, refrigerator, washing machine, hair dryers, Wi-Fi, and domestic pets are welcome, but this will cost you $200 per pet. With this hotel, you pay a resort fee of $16.75 plus tax, and with this you get parking and shuttle buses to all the main parks. This resort offers 2 pool areas. The main pool complex has more of an upbeat and energetic vibe, featuring a water playscape area for kids, whereas the second pool offers a quieter environment with a relaxing jacuzzi. Other amenities include fitness centre, dry cleaning, laundry service, and a games room. The reviews online for Floridays Resort are outstanding, and according to TripAdvisor's ranking, it is the 8th best resort in the whole of Orlando. It has more 5-star reviews than all the 3, 2 and 1-star reviews combined, which is an extremely good indicator. Guests are delighted with the pool options. You'll see some pleasant Mediterranean theming, but I think it's fair to say that theming is not the main focus of this resort. One thing I noted from a few reviews was that there's said to be plenty of seating and sun lounges, which I'm sure many will be pleased to hear. And it's worth noting that the pools are heated so that guests can use them comfortably all year round. I would say that this hotel succeeds in providing adequate entertainment for those days when you really just need some rest from the parks, whilst at the same time providing sufficient activities for your kids. The fitness centre is fairly small, but it contains clean and up-to-date equipment. The games room will definitely not win any awards, but all mention of it in reviews seems positive and kids seem to enjoy it. So with this resort's location, there is a substantial proportion of guests who really value the fact that this resort is in between Disney World and Universal, so it's well balanced in terms of travelling between parks. And that's not the only reason to be grateful for this resort's location. There is the Publix supermarket, which is a 5-minute walk away. And given the self-catering appeal of this resort, this is fantastic to have within such a short walking distance. And further away in that direction, you have Orlando Vineland premium outlets for your shopping needs. And if you're travelling in the busy summer months, you might be grateful that it's kind of within walking distance at roughly 23 minutes away, because I hear it can be awful to find parking for in the summer, with many feeling forced to pay for the expensive multi-storey car park. I would say the majority of the positive reviews that I considered had praise for the friendly, charming and welcoming staff, who seem to really go the extra mile to help with your vacation. Most guests were pleased with the spacious apartments and rooms, and with many saying that the kitchens are very well equipped, including a Keurig coffee maker. I would say it definitely succeeds in making you feel like you have your own apartment in Orlando, and many of those apartments have pleasant views of the nearby lakes from the balcony. The hotel restaurant, which is the Palm Cafe, looks like a convenience store, but the food is better than you'd expect, especially the pizza, which is highly recommended with guests. And on top of that, Palm Cafe is said to be reasonably priced as well. From a sample of 15 reviews mentioning Palm Cafe, I could see only one less than favourable review which mentioned that it was crowded during their stay. start this section, I'll mention the resort fees, which was not appreciated with a number of guests who had questioned its justification. The Floridays Resort fee costs $16.75 plus tax per suite per night and will be added to the room rate. This provides you with self-parking, theme park shuttles, fitness centre access and Wi-Fi. Which leads us on to the next bugbear, which is the quality of the Wi-Fi. And based on the reviews I've seen, it doesn't quite meet expectations overall, given that it's technically paid for via the resort fee, and because it is advertised as being high speed. Whilst there are a lot of guests who gave great reviews concerning the apartment rooms, there were some who felt that certain rooms had aged a bit, and I noticed that this was often people who had stayed at Floridays more than once, and so they seem to have picked up on a slight decline in quality. One issue I saw referred to quite a few times was the poor quality of mattresses. Whilst some people who left reviews online loved the location of Floridays, there were others who felt that Floridays was a bit isolated without that many restaurant options nearby. One reviewer noted that the Palm Cafe felt too small and crowded and would have appreciated a proper restaurant on site. The only two restaurants within 10 minutes walking distance are the Benihana and the Kenan restaurant. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. If you're willing to walk for 20 minutes or so, there are a number of other good dining options. I saw a couple reviews from people being slightly disappointed with the shuttle buses for being late on occasion, and in some cases just not arriving at all. One review mentioned that the buses from Disney World didn't come back late enough to see the evening parades and fireworks. Another thing to note is that the shuttle buses only go to Epcot within Disney World, and so if you plan to travel to other parks within Disney World, you need further travel from Epcot. One minor point I saw raised a few times was the size of the complex and the amount of walking required. This is naturally affected by which building you'll be staying in. In the next section, I'll discuss apartment selection in more detail. I should note that if required, staff can send a golf cart from the lobby to pick people up when needed for accessibility needs. In summary, I would say that this resort is a fantastic choice for those who need a lot of space for their family and for those that welcome the opportunity to cook their own meals with the impressive kitchen facilities available at Floridays Resort. But this comes at the expense of being a bit more isolated when compared to some similarly priced options, which would affect those that are looking for somewhere with plenty of dining options within comfortable walking distance. But ultimately, if you don't mind driving and if you feel that you will get your money's worth with an apartment, then I would say, because of the outstanding reviews that this resort gets online, Floridays has to be considered for your next vacation. Before I get onto the tips for this video, I just wanted to ask that if you are enjoying it so far, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments if you feel I missed anything out or if it didn't represent your experience. And if you're interested in further Orlando hotel reviews and other Orlando-based content, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell button. Number 1. So starting with room selection, there are a lot of options depending on your vacation needs. If you really value a good view from your balcony, be sure to request an apartment overlooking the main pool or one of the lakes. My preference, purely based on best view, would probably be building D overlooking the lake and smaller pool, but avoid the second floor if possible. If you do want to be within close walking distance to the main pool, you should request an apartment in buildings A or B, and B is the closest to the pool. If you're concerned about Wi-Fi, raise this as an issue before check-in to see if there will be any apartments that might have stronger connection. I don't know if there's a chance of them being able to accommodate for this, but it's definitely worth asking about if that's important to you. If you're concerned about noise, I would highlight with reception that you don't want an apartment that is overlooking a noisy road, near reception, or near an elevator. Also, buildings E and F are furthest away from the main pool, so if you're willing to sacrifice this, it is said to be more peaceful at those buildings with more privacy. Another good tip I got online was to request a room on a higher floor because the noise is reduced on those levels. But the compromise here is that you'll be spending more time waiting for the elevators. Number 2. My next tip is to be mindful that this resort will place a charge of $50 per night on your credit card, which is eventually refunded. So that's definitely something to prepare for, especially if you're staying for several nights. Number 3. If you're hanging out by the pool, I understand that the bar staff are willing to serve the full restaurant menu if needed. Number 4. My advice is to not bother buying the attraction tickets from reception because you will get cheaper options available online. Number 5. My last tip is to make the most of the Publix supermarket nearby, which gives you everything you'll need to stock up the fridge and other things that you might need for the theme parks. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If it was useful, please hit the like button. And if you're familiar with this hotel, please share your experience in the comments. You may want to see how this resort compares to some of the other hotels that I've reviewed, so be sure to check out my other videos. And if you're interested in future hotel reviews and other Orlando vacation content, don't forget to subscribe.